G'day everyone, it's Frank here, just enjoying this beautiful weather, showers, beautiful park here that I'm walking through. Let me give you a glimpse. So it's quite a spectacular place, really enjoying it here. Just tranquil, calm, peaceful. And isn't it nice to have that peace that only Christ can give you? And what I see in the world today, and particularly in religion, is lack of peace. So it tells me then that these religious organizations that are claiming to have Christ in their lives, as an organization, we're seeing turmoil instead. Lack of peace, seeing issues, dramas. Now, don't get me wrong, a Christian is bound to have struggles. Apostle Peter mentions that, Christ mentions that. But the peace that should follow a believer as he goes through trials is joy, right? We should have contentment because we're doing it for the right reasons. We're being persecuted for Christ's sake, not because of who we are, but because we have Christ in us. We're saved, we're children of God. This is why persecution comes our way in this world that is contrary to the light, because it's dark and its ways are dark. And those who are operating in this world as religious entities are also operating in darkness. So should we be surprised when governments in the dark are turning the spotlight on religion and causing them to pay the penalties that they themselves are not willing to uphold in a judicial system? What do I mean? Well, in any judicial system, all participants must obey the law. And it's interesting, in my former religion, and of course it's probably all over the news anyway, that they, through the Norwegian government, have disqualified them of receiving any government funding under their constitution. And what I saw recently on their website in March the 24th, JW Update News, that they no longer are receiving any funds, and they give their explanation why. That explanation in itself is not the full truth, the whole truth. It's their version of events. Their explanation, when I looked at it, was saying that it was unconstitutional for the Norwegian government to remove the funding allocated to Jehovah's Witnesses, which is quite surprising they would say that, because it was based on the constitution, I believe, is why the Norwegian government refused to give them any more funding. And it's like not the total omission of truth on the website was given, in that they said yes, it was because of a disfellowshipping matter. That is their freedom to disfellowship people was the reason. But I think it went further than that. I think the Norwegian government also had in mind the shunning policy of Jehovah's Witnesses. So maybe they should have included that. Also, by calling it unconstitutional isn't really correct either. Also, I think they had something to do with children, if my memory serves me right. Oh, there's a little squirrel. See? Oh, here he goes. Oh, he's gone. Wow, quick. So yeah, guys, this is what I mean. is religion is an enemy, really, of truth, of the real truth. Doesn't matter who it is. I'm not just explaining or having any ill, feelings towards Jehovah's Witnesses. Not at all. Just stating an obvious thing. Many religions are very cult-like in their top-down structure, friends, and we need to be careful that we don't just single out one and over the rest, because all of them really have this characteristics of being cult-like. Going back to this topic at hand, and so even though it's on the news bulletin for JWs, and it's sort of like a way to explain to them what's going on, especially those friends there in Norway, of course, they need something to talk about or defend themselves when brought up. What about what's going on in Norway, right? And if you're someone that is a witness in Norway, you have to try and come up with some reason why the government has shut you down, and come up with a plausible explanation. Unfortunately, the truth isn't really forthcoming from the leadership. There's an omission of truth. There is some truth and some parts or details missing out. This is what happens when you operate in a world that is not of God. And if you're going to operate in this world, you have to abide by the rules of this world, no matter what label you want to call yourself. Truth, Jehovah's Witness, Christian, whatever, Catholic, Orthodox, doesn't matter. You have to abide by the rules. And if you don't, there is a big price to pay. Okay? So I think the latest changes we see now, the latest changes within the organisation of this organisation, calls itself the Truth, Jehovah's Witnesses, are in line with the penalties being handed out to them by their governments of this world. That is the softening on the disfellowshipping practice as to greetings ones when they come to the hall. The changes in how women can wear now pants, how men can sport beards, even in the hour requirements that no longer publishers need to need to jot down their total hours for the month, every month. All they have to do is submit something that tells the elders that they have been active. Of course, I think Jehovah's Witnesses are just a little bit not far enough. They should go one step further and remove the shunning policy, allow children and adults to walk out whenever they want without fear that no one will talk to them. The repercussions, that is, of a disassociated or a disfellowship person that comes along with that announcement today, where they are shunned. Also, I think they need to give freedom to the children, so that if they, for example, get baptized at a young age, as you know, many children get baptized in religion because of their parents, not because of their own decision. Some do, but some don't. Probably the most don't. They just follow their peers, their friends, and their family members to please them. Okay, it's a general statement, but I'm sure I have a few friends that I know who got baptized because of this reason that I've just mentioned to you. So I think they need to remove all that unnecessary burdens on the publishers, and I think they can go one step further with this hour thing. And they should, in my opinion, and it will really show that they are getting closer to more of a reality of truth, is that no one, absolutely no one, need put their name on any piece of paper to say, I am active, or I am a pioneer and I've done 80 hours or 50 hours or whatever the requirement is these days. No name, right? No name. You don't need a name. You just need numbers. If you want to track progress, right? What do you need a name for? Because anything that Samuel Hurd said about that the name isn't important, the hours, that elders need to be getting to know the flock better. I think he said stuff like that, which is really a slap in the face to the elders, in congregations. They do a fantastic job. They do the best they can. They know the deal. They know that people are rigging the system. They can see when ones are rigging the system to get ahead and ones who are genuinely trying their best. And unfortunately, those who are rigging the system get ahead. But by removing the name altogether, then everyone's on an even playing field, correct? And no one's being judged because they are either active or inactive. Because one way or another, you're going to make a judgment. If your name doesn't appear regularly on the piece of paper that says you're active, then they're going to say you're inactive, right? And they're going to say that you're a weak believer. And then they're going to want to encourage you to be a strong believer. So you don't really need to put any hours down. They just note by what you say as regards to your activity, that is, you're active. That's just that on that point. I could say a lot more. I can make a whole video on this topic, on both of these topics. But my point is this, friends. Peace, true peace, only comes from Christ in you. So if you want true peace as a person, as a believer, accept Jesus into your life. The religion isn't going to bring you that. It may give you a lot of other side benefits, but it doesn't give you the true peace that you're actually looking for. It doesn't give you the peace of mind that that Christ can only give. That's what it doesn't give you. So friends, let's not get caught out by religion. There's a lot of bad stuff that religion does to a person. It's not just one. They're all under the same sort of umbrella. They all have characteristics of cult-like traits. And they all are dead, or most of them are dead in their works. Their works are futile before the Lord. They are, as the Apostle Paul calls them, or the writer of Hebrews, dead works. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you soon.